this right. Okay. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How is everyone feeling? Good. Everyone looks really good. My name is Alex, and I am a professional mom, I guess you would say. I have 3 boys who are 10, 13, and 15, and I live in the Boston area. And I'm super excited to talk to you about meal prep and meal planning. And I just want to give you guys a huge round of applause for being here. You have your coaches here. You showed up, and I think that's half the battle. You're here for a reason. So I just want to give you a huge applause for just being here tonight. I know that meal prepping and meal planning can be super overwhelming, and my goal of tonight is to eliminate that overwhelm. Give you some tips and tricks so that you have time to do it, and also motivate you to want to do it. I know we're all in the Faster Way. I'm a Faster Way coach as well, and we all are motivated by different things. I'm thinking of how to word this. So before we start, I really want you to think about your why. Why are you choosing to live this healthy lifestyle? Why do you want to feed your family and yourself nutritious food? I think it's easy for us to tend to schedule workouts in our calendar. It's a little bit easier. Then people sometimes, the last thing that will go sometimes when we're super busy is our food. But it's the one thing that you can control and you do need to live. So I want you to be really intentional about thinking about the food. I also, for those that are in a rut with recipes or don't like cooking, I want you to look at it in a new light after tonight, okay? So think about your why. Think about your why. Why did you come to the Zoom? Why are you doing the Faster Way lifestyle? Because that is often on the days that are super challenging and hard. That why will motivate you. You can think back to this Zoom for sure. So I want to just go over what we are going to talk about today.
I got it. Never mind.
What? Oh, sorry. I want to talk about, let you know that meal planning and meal prepping for me has been a journey. You know, you don't wake up one day and you're like, yes, I love meal prepping. Yes, I love meal planning. So look at your journey and embrace that journey for sure. Today, I'm going to give you I'm in my kitchen. Now, this is a small kitchen. This is not my house. I'm in a condo right now, and I can literally touch the walls, okay? So if I can meal plan and prep in this kitchen, so can you, okay? So I want you to know, I'm going to talk about meal planning tips. I'm going to talk about meal prepping tips, and those are 2 different things. Then I'm going to show you, I've got a lot of food, as you can see, that I want to show you some of my things that I use to make meal planning and prepping easier. I'm going to show you some of my containers that I absolutely love because it helps if you have a cute container, and some of the cookbooks that I really, really like. We do have the Faster Way Meal Guide, which is phenomenal, and I'll tell you some of the recipes that I really like there. But my first tip, this is going to be a little strange, and I haven't done this before, but this is going to be my tip number 1. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen for a second. Okay, we're going to get up, and I want everyone to dance. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Oh my gosh. Why is this song?
Everybody went away.
Can you see it? You are screen recording.
We can see the Cyndi Lauper album.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
an album and only 2 people. Oh,
Okay,
the other people.
so what I was gonna do is we were gonna get up and dance. The girls just want to have fun. I practiced that like 30 times, so I knew how to do that. But I wanted us to get up and dance and have some fun. And the reason is it's because of Kim's getting up and dancing.
Girls just want to have fun. Oh, girls, they want to have. Oh, what is she doing?
I like that, Edie. That goes into my first tip. That if you're someone that doesn't love meal planning or prepping, pair it with something that you enjoy doing, right? If music is your thing, play it to a song. If you want to listen to a podcast when you're meal prepping and planning, do that. If you want to treat yourself to maybe something afterwards, then you can do that. But that way you look forward to doing your meal planning each week. Now, I recently did a reel that if you like to drink wine or a drink or a cocktail, do that while you're meal planning, whatever you do. And in reference to that, I want to show you quickly one of my favorite wines that's called Usual, and it comes in this cute glass. It's low sugar, it's 1 glass. This is like 6 ounces. So if you do like drinking a drink when you're meal planning, this is a great option. I recently found this non-alcoholic option called Crisp and Crud. And this is like a non-alcoholic Paloma. It's really, really good because I try all this stuff we do as Faster Way coaches, so we can recommend these things, but this tastes like a Paloma. So if that's your thing, my first tip is do something, pair it with something that you love, and that way you look forward to it, okay? So whatever is your thing, you do that. My second tip is, I know a lot of people don't have the time to plan, but there are so many benefits of that. And I want you to remember the benefits in addition to your why. The benefits are, it's going to save you time. And people are like, well, how is it going to save me time? If you have a meal plan, then you eliminate the time of deciding what's for dinner. I was recently at the hairdresser and kombucha, love that. I was recently at the hairdresser and she didn't know sort of what I did. And she's sitting there just talking to me about recipes, looking through Pinterest, and she seemed really stressed. So I gave her some of these tips. So you can save time if you have a plan. You can also save money because we know, eating at home is going to be cheaper than eating out. You can also, if you plan in advance, buy things in bulk. I will often go to Costco, buy especially meats. All groceries are very expensive right now, but see what you can find and save that is on discount. It will also save you the stress of deciding what's for dinner, right? We all lead very stressful lives. You work at home, you work outside the home, you have kids, you're taking care of a lot of people. You want to eliminate that stress and have a plan. Lastly, and most importantly, for all of us in the Faster Way lifestyle, it keeps us on track for healthy eating, and if we have a plan, we will generally stick with it. So if you plan a time of day and a time of week, the same time every week, say Thursdays at 9 a.m. or, Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, whatever that is, be consistent with it. Just like we are everything else in the Faster Way lifestyle, put a timer on your phone, pick that awesome podcast or song you want to listen to, and do it every week. So therefore it becomes a habit and you really, really look forward to it. All right, my another tip, keep it simple. I feel like all of us want these complicated meals, that are gourmet at home. But guess what? I'm not a gourmet chef. So I need to be kind to myself. Be kind to yourself of what you can. If you want a gourmet meal, go out to eat. That's what I say. That a lot of times just be really kind. You see all these pictures on Pinterest or, Instagram, and they're so fancy. But eating whole foods does not have to be fancy. Your family is not expecting a gourmet meal. So really remember to keep it simple, okay? Meal planning has to work for you and your schedule. And so keep it simple, whole foods. On Thursdays are a day that I love when I'm doing meal planning. I love on Thursdays to use Thursdays as a reset. I call it a midweek mindset day. So if you are making a plan, use Thursdays as a day to sort of reevaluate. I say this in all aspects of the Faster Way, but I'm speaking just about meal planning and prepping. So if you've planned a menu and it's Thursday morning, you're looking at your menu like, oh gosh, you know what? I'm so tired. I do not want to cook tonight. So pivot. Just because you are meal planning, again, be kind to yourself. It doesn't mean you always have to exactly stick to that plan. And that's why I buy groceries through Wednesday, because also things come up, kids get sick, things happen. So I don't want a bunch of extra food in my house in the case that something happens and I need to pivot and order takeout. So Thursday is a great way. And if you get to Thursday, if you get to tomorrow morning and be like, oh gosh, I listened to the Zoom and I have not done anything all week, it's okay. It's still the middle of the week. And a lot of times in the Faster Way, we'll say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are still a portion of the week, right? We still want to stay on track. We still want to eat intentionally. So use that day as a reset day, midweek mindset to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling about everything that you're doing. Okay, I'm just reading the chat. Sorry. I would love ideas. Okay, I'll definitely get to that. So this is my secret plan that I came up with for meal planning. And this is going to make it a little easier. It's called a 2-2-2-1. Those numbers add up to 7 days of the week. Okay. So when you're doing meal planning in the beginning, what you can do is 2 nights of takeout or going out. Okay. That's 2 nights. What I also recommend is when you're new to meal planning, write down your family favorite meals. Now, again, this can be spaghetti and meatballs, big ziti, whatever are your family favorite meals that you people in your family are going to eat. So if you write down 8 of your family favorite meals and you choose 2 of those each week, hold on. If you choose 2 of those each week, then you've already sorry, I was muting people. You've got 2 meals where you're going out or allowing takeout. You've got 2 meals that are your family favorites. Everyone in your family is going to eat it. The other 2 nights allow for leftovers, or if you want to meal prep, you can meal prep 1 protein and eat it twice and repurpose it. Okay. So you've got 6 meals. So what are you going to do on that other day? You're going to choose a new recipe. You're going to choose something that you're super excited about. And maybe that new recipe is going to be on a Saturday when you have more time. I try new recipes like all the time. My husband makes fun of me because I have never made the same thing twice. Now that's because I like to cook. But I have things that are total bombs that no one in my family ever ate. And that's okay. That is okay. With takeout, I also want to emphasize a lot of times we feel guilty if we're ordering takeout. And I don't want, if you incorporate it into your menu, I incorporate Chipotle tonight into my menu tonight because I knew I was doing this and my husband's traveling. So incorporate takeout into your menu so that you're like, yes, boom, I'm doing Chipotle. It's guilt-free. We should not feel guilty about eating out. If you have a busy day, takeout is the perfect option. If you're going to do pizza, and I'm sure all the coaches would say this, have the pizza with your family. And do a big salad with some grilled chicken on the side, so you're getting enough protein. Or don't, it's up to you what kind of night that is. But I really want people to incorporate takeout, incorporate going out because we cannot cook every night. We need to go out, we need to be served, we need to, have fun. So my 2-2-2-1 rule, I think it'll really work for you. Also, I was going to talk about the Faster Weight Guide. We're given a bunch of recipes, which is sort of amazing part of the program. So use that. If you're someone that hasn't leaned into those recipes, they're getting better and better because I really go through that with a fine-tooth comb. And some of my favorites for the dinners are ginger chicken stir fry is really good if you haven't tried it. The burger bowl is really good too. They just recently, I think it was last week, they put a bolognese on there, which is a super family friendly dish as well. You can serve it, a spaghetti squash or gluten-free pasta. So really dive into those recipes and see what you like. Okay, last bit of advice for meal planning. Write it down, okay? Get a cute little board like this. I was going to try to do a giveaway for one of these, but this is like my favorite board and I've tried a lot. It has lots of colors on it. Get a cute board, write it down, put it somewhere where everyone in your family can see it. And that's for 2 purposes. One, when you write something down, you're a little bit more accountable. A lot of times people will say to me, well, what if I don't feel like that? Well, if you have the groceries and you have it written down, more than likely you're probably going to follow your plan, right? And this will keep you more on track. The second reason is if for some reason you get, bogged up at work and you need whoever else is in your house to fix that dinner, they know exactly what it is. I.e. in my house, it's my husband. So write it down, find a cute board, and this will be part of your routine as well. I write this down every Saturday morning. I have a cup of coffee. I love it. It's like my time. People know my family knows not to bother me during that time. So write it down, be accountable. Also, if you're like, oh my gosh, Alex, she's telling me so much information. I don't even know where to start. Start with 1 meal a week. Start meal planning 1 meal this week. Okay. That's it. And Oh, favorite takeout options. So start slow. Don't feel like you have to all of a sudden, go plan 7 meals. You need a meal prep after this. That's not the purpose. Write it down so that you have some future goals that you want to do. But be kind to yourself and start slow. Okay, now we're going to talk about meal prep. Who's scared of meal prep? Who hates that? Like, that word is just like, oh my God, I could never do it. Like, why is she even talking about meal prep? I don't cook. Okay, it's most people, right? If you feel like you can't meal plan, don't meal prep. Don't even think about it. They're two different things and people associate them together. Meal planning is just a plan. You're just putting together a loose plan. Meal prepping is when you're actually making food for the week. So meal prepping, if you've never done any meal planning, could be a goal. And I think your first step, if you're going to start off with any meal planning, is cut up some fresh vegetables, cut up some fresh fruit. Soak the fruit in vinegar so it lasts longer. Cut up some fresh vegetables that'll last all week, like peppers and cucumbers. That can just be because if you have healthy food readily accessible, you're more likely to eat it. You can also use those fruits or vegetables. I put it in a container, which I'll show you, and I will put that on my table as my fruit or vegetable for the night. So boom, it's like double. I will have those vegetables to take on the go in snack boxes. I will have them with hummus. So if you do anything this week, if you do one thing, just, meal prep some vegetables and fruit and you are winning. I tell you, it's going to make a difference in your life if you've never done it before. So do that. There are lots of things that you can buy at the grocery store, and I'll show you, that are already pre-prepped. Now, I know food is super expensive, so it depends on your grocery store, depends where you live. It depends on your budget for groceries. But today I went to the grocery store, I could go every day, I love it. Walk around the grocery store, see if there's any pre-prepped food that you could buy, things that are already done. And again, this will save you time. If you don't want to do that and things seem really expensive, I will encourage you to go to the grocery store and walk around the prepped aisle, the pre-prepared food aisle, because it'll give you ideas. I was at the grocery store today and I saw this little snack box that had hummus and falafel and like a little salad and veggies with it. I mean, they were charging $15. I was not going to pay $15 for the snack box, but I was thinking, okay, that's an awesome idea that I could use on the go. And I can tell you guys tonight because I was excited about it. So get some ideas from the grocery store, take that time to walk around, see the new products, read the labels, and you can get some ideas there. Things that I love to buy at the grocery store are things like the zoodles or what are they called? Sweet potato noodles. What? Like sweet potato noodles, carrot noodles, like that. Those are great because I don't have a spiralers or whatever it's called. So, and I don't like them frozen. So I buy those. Sweet potato cubes and butternut squash cubes I will generally buy at the grocery store already cut because those are super hard to cut. And I make a lot of those a lot of times. Rotisserie chickens, those are awesome to grab and go. The grilled chicken that they have salmon, they have all the things that are pre-prepared. Salad mixes, amazing thing. Hold on, sorry. Salad mixes are an awesome thing too, or broccoli slaw, things like that. Look up those things. Some of the fruits that are pre-cut, I know where I live, they're super expensive and I can cut fruit on my own and my family goes through so much fruit. But if you're going to spend your money on fruits and vegetables, make sure that they are going to last. Wash those vegetables in the vinegar wash. Put a paper towel on top of those clamshell lettuce containers, especially the spinach, because you don't want the moisture in there. Moisture is what will get all the spinach really, really bad. And remember, if you're going on vacation, you can also freeze all these things. I freeze fruit if I'm going away so it doesn't go to waste, and I use it in smoothies. So think of things like that. In terms of, I love freezing things. I think that's a really good way to meal prep so that you can make a lot of food and you can save it in the freezer. So freezer meals, also, if you're making a meal, double it. Use it as leftovers. Don't be afraid to eat leftovers. I made cashew chicken last night. Only 2 of my 3 kiddos ate it. So I have so much left over and I'm just going to eat it again. So if you're cooking something, make it worth it. If you have a sheet pan, double it. Double all your recipes, and you can either save it for leftovers as one of your meals, or you can freeze it. Things like soups and stews are awesome to freeze. If you're grilling, I have a grill night every Sunday night. That's like one of the things that we do. Grill a lot of stuff, marinate extra meats, marinate chicken. It's a really, really good way to get some protein in. One other thing that made me think of it is when you're meal planning, if you're doing your family favorite meals, one nice way to do that also is to have theme nights. So Taco Tuesday, breakfast for dinner, kids cook, kids choice, all those type of things. Having themed nights makes it really, really easy and also fun for everyone involved and can get you out of a little rut. If you know that your family loves Mexican food, then search for Mexican recipes if they love those flavors. My kids love Asian food. So I literally, you don't like leftover chicken. Okay, yeah, so that's a problem. I didn't used to love leftovers, but it is a time-saving tip. And for some times that I do, I will do it. Since I started the faster way, I will do leftovers. But if you're not a leftover person, then give it to your spouse, give it to your kids. You don't have to eat it. Don't worry about it. So doing those theme nights, making leftovers if you like that, and freezing some of those things that freeze really well. Things that don't freeze really well, just as an aside, are things like dairy, sour cream, a lot of those things. And then also you don't want to freeze watery vegetables like tomato. Like if you're making a burrito, don't freeze a tomato or celery or anything like that. That won't really turn out that well. But most things can freeze. For meal prep, I also love an appliance. I love my slow cooker more than anything. If I had to grab one thing out of my house, it would be my slow cooker. And a lot of times we think, oh, well, slow cooker food tastes all the same. It really doesn't if you play around with some recipes. But in terms of meal prep, slow cooker is awesome to make a lot of meals. You can make shredded chicken. Someone asked about vegetarian dishes. I just recently made the Skinny Taste chickpea and sweet potato stew, and it was awesome. And I'm not a vegetarian. I gave it to a friend. So look up that recipe. It is awesome. You can make lots of things in the slow cooker, even breakfast. I don't know, steel cut oats are awesome in the slow cooker. You can make frittatas, you can make oatmeal, you can make a French toast. So there's lots of things that you can make in the slow cooker. Again, I'm a big fan of appliances. Instapot is awesome. That's when you really have like 10 minutes to make a meal. I mean, literally you can make a good meal in 10 minutes. And that's where you can use a little bit of the meal prep, so you can have it all prepped to go and then put it in the Instapot. Same with the slow cooker. There are things called slow cooker meals that you can put into a Ziploc bag, and you can put it in your freezer and then just dump it in the crock pot in the morning if you're going to be gone all day. You can also meal prep some Instapot meals. So those are things to think about, how to sort of get creative with those appliances. Take it out of the cabinet, dust it off, and use it. If you need any slow cooker recipes, ask me, because I probably use it 3 times a week. Tomorrow I'm making a barbecue chicken that again is Skinny Taste, that you can use lots of different ways. So that's super, super helpful. In addition to that, having some, I call it cheat sheet meals. Some meals that literally your day is bananas, you didn't plan, and you just need some staples that you have in your house to make a meal because you don't want to go out. So think of it also in terms of, it has to be simple. And in the faster way, think about having a protein and a carb and fruits or veggies. Those are the sort of the staples that you need to think about the meal. Again, doesn't have to be complicated, doesn't have to be something fancy. For carbs, things that you can make in advance and that I have, and I'll show you samples of some food that I have all laid out here in a little bit. Things that are really good and that you can freeze are muffins. Protein muffins are so, so good. And that's, again, you can have breakfast for dinner. You can take that on the go. They will defrost. You can make in advance, you can make rice. You can roast sweet potatoes. If you roast vegetables, they will stay in the fridge for up to 7 days. And that's where you can get creative with your spices and change it around. I also always have on hand some gluten-free pasta. I have packaged quinoa. packaged farro. And these, I'm talking about things that you literally put in the microwave. This is not going to take a long time. These are things to do last minute. Also waffle fries. I'm a big fan of Alexia waffle fries. They have regular and they have sweet potato. They also have sweet potato tots. So those are great too. Something else for carbs that's a great idea is to do, make like a salad in advance that has quinoa in it, depending on the season, or butternut squash roasted salad. I made a sweet potato salad last week with black beans, and then you can just put a protein on it. That's also great for on the go. It's a room temp thing that you can make, put some protein on it, or if you're a vegetarian, just eat that. So those are some good things. In terms of protein, here are some examples of things that I always have on hand that are super helpful in a bind. The Prager's, and I don't know if you can always get these where everyone is, Prager's veggie burgers are really, really good. They have a super green one that is fantastic and I think doesn't taste too greeny. You can also homemade, also for the vegetarians, I have a really good recipe for black bean burgers and you can freeze those. Same thing with turkey burgers. Same thing with meat burgers. And I want to tell you, I always have burgers on hand because you can cook them from frozen. Those do not need to be defrosted. So if you're in a bind, put them right on the grill or on the stovetop, however you cook your burgers, and you can have burgers for your family. And that's an awesome thing to have. Chicken nuggets, I always keep those. I keep Bell and Evans. They're not necessarily always gluten-free, but I do have certain things of chicken nuggets. I will show you. This is one of my new obsessions that I love, and I don't know if they have it where you are. They're cauliflower chicken. So it's crusted with cauliflower, so it's gluten-free. This is spicy, but it's almost like you feel like you're having a treat, but it's not. It's totally fine. And they have a regular one that you could turn into a chicken parmesan. And that's the same with any breaded chicken. I will often do that for my kids. I'll do a chicken parm sandwich. I also always have meatballs in the freezer, whether I make them or I buy them. And you can have spaghetti and meatballs. You can make a meatball sub and put that in the air fryer, put it under the oven. So those are great to have. Burritos I love. I love burritos, whether it's a meat burrito or you could do a sweet potato burrito, cauliflower burrito. You can also make breakfast burritos, which is an awesome thing for on the go. If you're going to make that, make a lot of them. You can put in different proteins in there, whether it's bacon or sausage, Canadian bacon, whatever your family likes. But those are a really easy thing to freeze and defrost quickly. Pancakes. Someone said they made pumpkin pancakes. Oh my gosh. For your cheat sheet meal. I love this. Okay, you got to send me that recipe. Pancakes, breakfast for dinner. My kids literally are on fire when I tell them it's breakfast for dinner. And there are so many good recipes for different protein pancakes, and even the pre-made mixes are great. So always have pancakes in the freezer that I make, especially on the weekend when I'm making a lot of those. A good cheat sheet meal is also to have eggs and include that. It doesn't have to be breakfast for dinner. You can just have eggs, and you can do lots of different things with eggs. If you want a little extra protein, and I'm sure your coaches will tell you this too. If you want an extra protein when you're making scrambled eggs, add some egg whites, add some liquid egg whites. A couple tablespoons of that, you get like 6 to 10 grams of extra protein. What I've also done recently, and this may sound a little odd, is put cottage cheese into my eggs, and it was delicious. And that also is an extra way to get protein. Something else on the go that I think is easy to do are yogurt parfaits, and I mix the Faster Whey protein powder in the yogurt. You can do that with Greek yogurt if you can tolerate that, or you can do it with non-dairy yogurt too. So that's a great thing to have in advance. You can make those in advance. Veggies, how you can prep veggies. Roast the veggies, roast the heck out of your veggies, whatever you have in season. Go to your grocery store, what's on sale? Sweet potatoes, you can put so many different seasonings, whether it's a spicy seasoning, a chipotle, or sweet seasoning like a cinnamon and sugar on the sweet potatoes. Those will last up to 7 days in your fridge. You can also freeze those for up to 3 months. You can roast them and freeze them, which is awesome. I'm a huge sweet potato fan. Used egg whites for the first time. That's awesome, Kim. Also, don't be afraid to buy canned veggies. They're the same thing. Buy frozen veggies. Buy the veggies that are already in the microwavable bags. All of those they taste fine. So you don't have to buy fresh veggies. And because a lot of times you'll buy all that, you'll spend the money and they go bad. And that's really disappointing. Okay, I'm going to say some things that are protein prep. These are things on the go. We've talked about a few of these things. Protein balls are awesome. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay, there used to be 3 in here, but I ate one before this started because I forgot how much I love these. Eating Bird Food has so many good protein ball recipes. She also has a ton of baked oatmeal recipes, overnight oats. She's so great. These can freeze, like they're so good. I have to freeze them or I would eat them all. This is the oatmeal cinnamon ones. I'm not a huge chocolate fan, so these are great. But protein balls are a great thing to take on the go. Eating Bird Food also has a blueberry protein muffin that is to die for. It's really, really good. And you can freeze that. Tuna salad, chicken salad. Those are awesome things to make in advance, especially the Faster Way curry chicken salad and wasabi chicken salad or wasabi tuna salad. Those are 2 of my favorite things. Speaking of salads, if you want to make a salad in advance also, mason jars are an awesome way. This is a plastic one, but to make mason jar salads is a great way. You just stack it. You put the dressing on the bottom and you can stack it. I think there was a mason jar salad a couple weeks ago in the Faster Way recipe, but look those up. You can make those veggie. Those will also last all week. If you make these on a Sunday, you can eat them all week long. They'd be totally fine to do that. Ground meats. So if you don't like leftovers, and this is not a tip for you, but you can ground beef, ground turkey on a Sunday and use it a couple times during the week. And I've heard this all the time. And until recently, I was like, you know what? That sounds sort of weird. I don't know about that. I tried it. No one noticed the difference. I took ground beef. My family goes through like 3 pounds of ground beef because I have 3 boys. One night I did like a teriyaki sauce on the ground beef. And one night I did tacos and no one knew that I had cooked it before. So, ground turkey is also a great way to get protein. It's super lean for any day of the week. So you can make those things in advance. Shredded chicken, I'm a huge fan of the crock pot. You can make lots of different things, shredded chicken. Make sure you are shredding it with your mixer. You are not taking 2 forks. You have to use like a hand mixer. Literally, it can shred in 15 seconds. It's the best. And shredded chicken is great to make for chicken salad, put over lots of things. That's a great protein prep. I'm also a huge fan of marinating meats. I have a tiny freezer, but I have 4 meats marinating right now. And I think what is great about that is, one, you can buy the meats in bulk, and you can also, the flavor is better when you marinate it and then freeze it. And those are really good for those mornings when you forgot something, but you need to do it. And a little trick if you want to freeze it quicker is to put it on a sheet pan. If you put a frozen item on aluminum, it will defrost faster. So that's a little trick about that. Marinating is huge. And I'll show you some marinades that I really like. Overnight oats, chia puddings, those are really great. No, don't shred your pork with forks anymore. Use your mixer, a hand mixer. I'll send you one.
You're too tiny.
Shredded pork, I haven't even mentioned pork. I love pork. Shredded pork is so great. Another trick that I have is making fruit smoothies in advance and freezing them and put them in a smoothie cup. The way that I personally like them, and I've done it a couple ways, is to defrost them on the counter, room temperature. So I'll take it out at 8 in the morning, and then it's my meal, my like 2 or 3 o'clock meal, where it's defrosting in room temperature. I don't like the way it tastes when it's in the fridge. It gets a little chunky for me, but making those in advance is a great idea too. Okay, my 3 things that are literally the biggest things that I always have in my house that are shortcuts. I am not a chopper at all. I hate to chop things. That's just not my thing. So buying freezer onions that are already chopped is a game changer. Also, the 2 other things that I love are frozen ginger and frozen garlic. And they sell this at Trader Joe's. They sell it everywhere. Using those cubes is like a game changer. It may not be as fresh as using fresh garlic, but that's okay. I also love microwavable rice. I'm a huge fan of microwavable rice. My kids eat it like every night. It's rice, brown rice, all of that type of stuff. So Okay, that's a lot of my talking. Now I'm gonna show you some things unless we have some questions. The Sonoma chicken salad. Yes, Beth, I love that chicken salad too. I forgot about that. I'm just seeing if people have questions before I show you some stuff. Was this helpful? Reheat meals in a steamer basket. Oh, Megan, I love that. Yeah, ways to reheat. Mostly if you do it not in the microwave, then it doesn't get as dry, right? Eating bird food. Yes, it's eating bird food. That's right. I think her Instagram is just eating bird food. She's great. And I'll share some of my favorite recipes. It's a website. Oh, she also has an Instagram. Yeah. Okay. Here are some containers that I absolutely can't live without when I'm doing meal planning and prepping. Stasher bags are great for on the go. You can also freeze stuff in here and just pop it out. These are silicone bags that you can just, it won't come out, that you can reuse. So these are great things. They're called Stasher and you can get them on Amazon. Snack boxes. Those are a great way to have meal prep as well. These are my favorite. It has 4 containers. You can put things like fresh berries. You can put nuts. I love putting frozen edamame in here and letting it defrost in the fridge. Dried apricots. It's like make your own trail mix, but it just looks cute in here and you can take this on the go. These are great. Okay. This is the container that I use for fruits and veggies. It's a 3-part container and I will put all different fruits and veggies in here. And I have 2 of these, one for fruit, one for veggies. And this is what I'll put in my fridge and I'll just take out for my kiddos and me to eat. Soup containers. Soups and stews are such an awesome way to meal prep. So make them in advance and freeze them in these soup containers. This is great. I showed you the mason jar salad. Now these are little, I recently saw these. These are overnight oat jars and it comes with a spoon on it already. So if you need something to go, you just grab this and go. How great is that? I think it's so cute. Tongs. If you have any, this is a very weird thing, but I love tongs. I love for my kids to learn to serve themselves. And tongs are a really easy way for them to pick up things. I use this for sausages, for broccoli, whatever. I love having these like mini tongs. For jars, I also love using, my friend Emily, who's on here, introduced me to Teddy's peanut butter. And if you haven't tried that, it is the best. I didn't believe it, but peanut butter does taste different. And that is the best, and they have lots of different flavors. I reuse these jars for everything. They're glass. Again, they're just really, it's helping the environment. It's not plastic. And reusing these jars for salads, for overnight oats. I put an adrenal cocktail in here. I use these a lot because they're the perfect size. I think it's probably 16 ounces. I'm not sure. Okay, slow cooker liners. I'm a big fan of slow cooker, not a big fan of cleaning that slow cooker up. So these are BPA free that you can use for your slow cooker. These are really great. Another container I have are these sort of traditional meal prep ones, where this one is 2, these are on Amazon. Well, I like it because it's pink too, but they're 2 containers. They make one with 1 and 3. But this is a great idea for meal prepping. You know, a lot of times you can meal prep, but you don't have the right container. And then you have this huge vat of, you know, chili, and it's just, it's hard. So get some containers that work for you. Also, if you're gonna make soups, this is one of my favorite containers. It's silicone, and this is 1 serving. So these just pop right out of there. You can freeze it in here and then pop the soup out. When the jar gets low, make overnight oats in it. Ooh, I love that, Emily. That's such a good idea. Also, if you're going to be doing some meal planning, invest in a good sheet pan. Okay, this is really important with a lip. You want that. And if you're using a sheet pan, do a parchment paper liners. They pre-cut these for you. It's awesome. You can just put this on the sheet pan. I use these every single day. So the pre-cut parchment sheet pans are great. If you're going to be doing meal prepping, I also suggest investing in a good cutting board. Make sure you have a big substantial one, not like one that you cut limes on for your cocktails. Like have a big cutting board so that you can cut all those fruits and veggies. This is from Amazon, and this one goes in the dishwasher. Let's see. I'm just going to show you quickly some of my favorite food items that I have. So seasonings can go a long way. We know that with the faster way, you can add a lot of flavor to the seasoning to foods with just seasonings because you're not adding extra. Trader Joe's ranch seasoning is my favorite. You know, if you have a Trader Joe's by you, go check them out because they have a lot of good foods and their seasonings always change and they're great. Everything but the bagel seasoning. Sorry. One of my cheat sheet meals is you take the chicken, you can dip it in butter, or you can just have it, just plain, and you dip it in everything but the bagel seasoning and just bake the chicken tenders. Like easy peasy, so good if you love this. I mean, I use this all the time. Pestos are great. Trader Joe's does have a dairy-free pesto. These can add flavor to anything. I add this to my eggs. It makes something like seem fancy, even though it's just pesto. Egg bites. Buying egg bites that are already pre-done is a great meal prep idea. I do not like making egg bites. I've made a million egg cups, right? And none of them turn out. I think they're all just sort of gross. So I like these sous vide bites. These were from Misfits Market, but they have them lots of different places. Chicken sausage is a great thing to have on hand too for those last minute meals. I put that in Rayo's tomato sauce. I've said that wrong sometimes, with pasta. So that's a good go-to meal. You can also put this on a sheet pan. You can put this in an air fryer with some Creole seasoning and shrimp. And that is a really, really good go-to meal. So those are great to have on hand. Yeah, here's the sweet potato noodles, whatever. I guess they're not called zoodles. I just don't like making this and I don't even know how. So those are great to have. Salad kits. Get some salad kits. It makes life so much easier. Trader Joe's, again, does have a really good vegan ranch one that tastes really, really good. Broccoli slaw. You can use this. Make egg roll in a bowl. If anyone has tried that from the faster way, that's sort of an Asian flavor with some ground turkey. So that's really a good idea. I just recently found this brand of overnight oats called Oats Overnight. I just buy them. I don't do anything for them. I think are great. All you do is add some almond milk to these oats overnight. And I really like the different flavors that they have. So those are a great option. Little cups of guacamole and hummus are great to have on hand as well. You can take those on the go. You can buy them at Costco, so they're not as expensive because those can be a little pricey. I've got my favorite gluten-free rice or pasta is from Trader Joe's. It is the brown rice pasta. I think it doesn't taste like gummy or gooey. It's really good and my kids don't even know. I also like this microwavable brown rice, which is always great to have on hand. You can see lots of different packets where you are. Siete makes a great grain-free tortilla chip and taco shell. So if you haven't ever seen this brand, definitely look this brand up. As a cheat sheet meal as well, when I was talking about seasonings, I always have a house taco seasoning in my house that is pre-made that I can just put with some meat, which is great. You can do that with a ranch as well. Having gluten-free breadcrumbs on hand is a great idea to make your own chicken parm if you wanted. Love doing that. There's lots of different brands for that. Also having the dressings and marinades. If you don't want to make them yourself, Primal Kitchen is a great brand, and is Tezeme's. And having barbecue sauce, if you can just pop that in the crock pot. I mean, barbecue sauce makes everything taste better. So I always have that on hand when I make some plain shredded chicken for my kids. Last but not least, I like to make things look attractive, right? We eat with our eyes. So if you have some really healthy snacks put in clear jars, this is dried edamame, which I love, dried chickpea. you know, I have this whole make your own trail mix station in my house that you can just have those, put these things in containers. I do the same thing with seeds and nuts. And these are chia seeds, and I just have these in little mason jars sitting, you know, well, these are in my cabinet. But those are the things that I have sort of as go-to. So now I've shown you my whole pantry. No, I'm just kidding. That's what I have. I want to be respectful of time. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Alex,
I have a question about the shredded chicken with your mixer. Doesn't it make it in a little bitty pea size? I wouldn't want chicken that small.
No, it just shreds it. It shreds it evenly. Actually, I'm trying to find you. Yes, it shreds it evenly. Oh, I'll be right there. Sorry. It shreds really evenly. So I like it actually a lot better.
Oh, okay.
Try it. Ezra, do you have a question?
Yeah, so can you describe a little bit about how this just works in real time? Like, it sounds like you spend Thursday night writing on the little board.
Yep.
Maybe you do groceries, and then maybe on Sunday or whatever night, you cook at least 2 days of meals, maybe the whole week,
Mhm.
and you store it up. Is that how like it works?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, that's such a good question, right? Because you're like, this is all good, but how do you actually do all this, right? So what I will typically do is Thursday mornings, because I know that's when the Faster Way guide comes out. I will use that. I am a big fan of using the guide personally. For me, your coaches may do different things. For definitely my meal 1 and 2. I think their meal 1 and 2 is great. And I will repeat a lot of meals, especially on a low carb day or a regular macro day. I basically always repeat my Monday, Tuesday. So what I'll do is Thursday, when the meal comes out, I will meal plan for the next week. And what I will do is I will write it down, and I will buy my groceries on Saturday. Because I also, one thing I want to say when you are meal planning that I didn't mention is when you're doing it, I mean, there's lots of tips of meal planning, is look at your schedule when you're meal planning. It has to work for you, your life, your family, whatever you have going on. If you have a busy night, you know, order takeout, do a slow cooker meal. If you don't have a ton of time to cook, plan your meals around your schedule. You're not going to plan some extravagant dinner when you've got only a half an hour to actually do the cooking. So plan your meal plan around your schedule and what you have time for. So I will do that. And then so I'll do my grocery shopping on Saturday. And the way I do my meal plan is I do it on a spreadsheet. And again, this has taken me a lot of time, but I will write what I need to prep and when I need to prep it. And this has been a big journey for me doing this. So there are certain things, if I know that I'm gonna have overnight oats like twice a week, I will make those on Sunday because I know that they last for 5 days. So I'll try to get a lot of stuff done on Sunday when I know that I have time to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes, you're like, after you've planned it or after you've written down the meals that you might want to eat, then you kind of figure out how much time it takes and how long those last. So if I like having oats, instead of doing the night before doing the oats, maybe because they last 5 days, I can just do them all on Sunday, stick them in my special jars, and then grab them. Right? Is that like?
And and I think the big thing to set yourself up for success is knowing how much time you have to cook, right? Knowing how much time you have during that week, because you can do a lot of stuff. Even if you have, I'll say, a sheet pan meal that you have on Tuesday, you can cut the chicken sausage, you can cut the veggies, you can marinate that all. So you just, when you come home and you have 10 minutes to cook, you just put that on the sheet pan. You know, so it takes trial and error. I think also it takes what works for you, and thinking about the recipes that can make it easier for you. Sheet pan meals are really, really easy because you're normally just plopping something on a sheet pan with some olive oil and salt and pepper. Those are easy. Slow cooker. If you have time to put something in the slow cooker in the morning and have a meal when you get home, then that's awesome. If you only have 10 minutes, do an Instapot. You know, those are the one pot meals. Those are sort of the thing to think about. You know, things that are great to make in advance, which I often do, I'm thinking is like a meatloaf type of thing. I have a really good recipe for a turkey meatloaf that you can bake in advance and then you can eat it throughout the week. So you have to play with it a little bit, what works for you and what you also like to eat. Like Kim said, not everyone likes to eat leftovers. So then that's going to be harder, but maybe she will. I rarely plan all my meals, but I do make sure the kitchen is stocked. That's awesome. With what we eat at the same time, I actually did meal prep with my kids over the weekend. We tried a few new things. Oh, the granola bars. I love that. Right. If you have any kids or even any spouses, you know, that you want involved with food, get them involved. I have a 10-year-old son who will do anything with me. And so, yeah, I think it's good to get kids and even us to try different vegetables. And that's what I mean, you know, any foods, if they like Asian, maybe you make a stir fry with some sugar snap peas in it. They may not eat it, they may eat it, you know, it depends. But definitely remember, Ezra, like your motivation behind this. Like one thing I forgot to say one thing. I was going to start it off with saying, you know, imagine you meal plan the perfect meal plan and you're so excited and everyone in your family eats every meal that you make. And it's like, guess what? That doesn't happen. You know, nothing goes according to our plan every week. We all know that. So having that adaptability, but my goal in life is for people to try new recipes. You know, enjoy what we're eating. We're in this lifestyle. We work so hard at this lifestyle that we should be enjoying what we're eating. Spending less time in this kitchen, more time with the people that we love at the dinner table and really enjoying that connection. One of my whys to why I meal plan is so that I can spend more time with my kids talking to them and less time in the kitchen. Because if I'm scrambling every single day, that's not going to happen. And I'm going to yell at them and lose my patience. So that's my personal why. I grew up in a household where food, my dad was a great cook. And I felt when I was at the dinner table, there's so many benefits of eating a family dinner. I felt very safe. And I felt, you know, that was how my dad showed me he loved me. And I think he passed that on to me. You know, food can be love. Food can be good and comforting. So it's a process, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you need recipe suggestions, anyone can let me know too, because I have a million. I have a Pinterest page. I got lots of things. Obviously I could talk about food like all day long.
Alex, hey, I was going to ask you, you showed a bunch of your favorite like containers and stuff. Do you have a document where all those are linked or recommendations on the names of some of those things that you could provide to us?
Yes, I will send that out to the coaches along with the replay for sure.
Okay.
Pinterest is
perfect.
a great resource. Oh, Pampered Chef is awesome. They have a lot of good products. They have a waffle stick pan that like I used like every day during COVID. It's so good. They have lots of good stuff. Pinterest is amazing. I love Pinterest. I save all my stuff. That's also a recommendation is if you like collect recipes, put them all in one spot for me. I wanted to show you, I use this folder. So I will print, I know I'm not good for the environment, but I print all my stuff and I like to save it. And then when it's time to meal plan though, what I'll do is be like, oh, what do I like here? You know, I also have some favorite cookbooks that I forgot to show you amongst all my stuff. This is one of my favorites. You can see I tag it. It's Damn Delicious Meal Prep. She has some amazing recipes in here that she does not put online. I would highly recommend buying this. I mean, I read cookbooks for fun at night, so this is what I do. And then I also love Skinny Taste. I mean, she is seriously my hero. If anyone ever used Ina Garten to cook, she's like the healthy Ina Garten. Like everything you make is so good. It's my go-to every single time. My barbecue chicken tomorrow is her thing. Skinny Taste Meal Prep, like so good. We love Detox Denista. Ooh, I need to get that. Okay, I love hearing what people like. I mean, I buy cookbooks every day. My husband's like, stop. You need to stop buying cookbooks. I love all these recipes sharing. This is so great. But, you know, I know we're sort of at the time, but give yourself credit. Again, like be really proud of everything that you're doing. do your meal plan like you do your workouts, like you do your mindset. You know, you deserve it. There are going to be benefits. It's not going to be easy, but you know it's going to be worth it, right? And have fun with it. And tell me all your recipes that you try.
Okay.
Hey, Alex, one last thing. I just want to say thanks so much for doing this. I know a lot of my VIPs are in here and they're so appreciative because I am not good at any of this stuff. So I appreciate you. Can they still enter into your contest? Or is it too
What
late?
are you talking about the
The
meal?
March Madness?
Oh yeah, you're in it. Yeah, I do have a March Madness. Well, it's a meal prep challenge, but really what I'm doing is it was for March Madness because my kids love basketball. I'm doing 3 weeks of meal plans made for you. So 12 recipes that you're gonna get, which are great recipes. I do a little video with a meal prep tip, some extra recipes. I'm doing a text, and then you send me pictures of your food to sort of be entered in the challenge. So I do love all of this. So if you have any questions, or ask your coaches too, because they love to do this too. But what is great about this Faster Way community is we all work together, like Kim just said. This isn't her strength. So like us being able to support each other in this way as coaches is pretty special. And you guys are in such a special community. Lean into these groups, lean into people that are on the Zoom, lean into your coach. You know, we all have the same goal of just wanting to feel good, right? At any age. So that's what's most important. So you guys, we're lucky. We're all lucky to have found the Faster Way, for sure, for so many reasons. So it was Kim's idea for me to do this. So I thank you, friend.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Bye.